What does fortitude mean?
Fortitude means work hard, be brave, don't quit, and keep on going.
How can you show fortitude? On the first day I was here at school, I was scared, but I kept going and made new friends.
How have you shown fortitude?
Well, I was with my aunt to the zoo, and she told me to go inside the bat cave, and also I thought it was a little bit scary, so I go inside there. When I went in, I saw that there were some lights in there. It wasn't that scary. I thought it was. It was really cool, and I'm glad that I went in.
Awesome.
I show fortitude by getting my hair done. My mom says it will not hurt every time, but then it keeps hurting. It takes forever, but I get through it, and then I stick with it, and then I have a beautiful hairdo.
How did you show fortitude?
When COVID was here, it was hard because we had to go a whole year without coming to school. I showed fortitude when COVID was here by being patient and still focusing and learning and doing hard work and stuff. Even though I had to do the work from home and not give up, I didn't give up.
How can you show fortitude? Back when I was in first grade, I didn't know math that well, but I kept practicing it, and now math is figure outable. Now I'm figuring stuff out, and I'm having a lot of fun with it.
How have you shown fortitude?
I do for being patient. Even have to wait.
How have you shown fortitude? You can show fortitude by reading. It's real hard to read because it might be words that you don't know. But you can try sounding them out, and soon they'll come to mind. And don't give up. Even though it's hard, you can figure out how to read. I learned how to read, and now I'm checking out books from the library.
How can you show fortitude?
You can show fortitude by going on stage for a poem when you're very nervous that you're going to get something wrong. Where a lot of people are staring at you, but you can do it.
How will you show fortitude?
I am showing fortitude because I might be moving in 6 months, and I'm going to show fortitude by thinking about the good thoughts that I might like about it instead of the bad ones.
You can show fortitude by being respectful and listening, even if you don't feel like it and feel like you want to throw attention. You can still listen to whoever's talking. And that's a good way to stick with it and show fortitude.
How can you show fortitude? You can show fortitude by waiting for your turn and taking turns and waiting for a turn to talk.
How can you show fortitude? I show fortitude by waiting for my baby sister, her name's Nyla, to be born. I had to wait 9 whole months, and I probably had to wait a few more weeks or months to hold her. So it was a long wait, but I'm just glad I can hold her now.
How can you show fortitude?
You can show fortitude by when you go on a trip and you don't want to leave where you are, you could just remember it in your head when you leave. So it could be like a souvenir in your head. You can maybe move on and remember it, and you could have some other happy times. How can you show fortitude?
You can show fortitude by telling the truth, even though it might be scary and you get in trouble. So you can just tell the truth.
How can you show fortitude?
Well, I was there when I went underwater, but I went underwater and it was really fun.
How can you show fortitude? It's really hard to tie my shoes, but I learned how to tie my shoes on my own when I turned 7. And I showed fortitude by not giving up. Keep on going. And then I figured it out.
How do you show fortitude?
When I leave my grandma's house, I don't want to leave there because it's super fun and she is an amazing grandma. And sometimes when she leaves, I don't like it and it makes me cry, but I always get through it.
How have you shown fortitude?
One night when I think it was movie night or on the weekend, like everything was going fine, but my mom had to like go do something outside, and when she came back about like 5 minutes later, there was a cat. She explained that he and her neighbor had found it in the street and there was no food or water for it, so we got it some water. We had to get really, really fast to get some food for it, and so I was really scared for it, and it was pretty hard. And after a week at most, like found an owner for it, and it left, and it had grown to like me a lot, and I was sad for it that it would miss me, and I was sad because I would miss it. So it was hard, scary, and difficult. But I remember the cat and how it loved me, and like it would whine every time I left the room, and that was kind of a little silly. And so yeah, I remember the cat to this day. It has an owner named Joel, and its name is Saul. We sometimes get to cat sit for Saul sometimes now.
Do you want to tell us about fortitude?
My mom, we used to have a very big family until everything got swapped. My mom got divorced. My mom cries sometimes. We've been through hard things. And she stays with it and keeps on going. And even when she starts to lose money, we still look like a family. We still look like a family because she loves us and she takes care of us. She shows fortitude.
How have you shown fortitude? So we had this dog and her name was Diamond, right? So she went outside and no one saw her. It was like a cold winter night. We didn't know that she was outside, so the next morning we went outside and we saw her. She was gone. So I showed fortitude and honored her by taking care of the puppies. Well, we did. How can you show fortitude?
My cousin died and I was really sad, but I didn't give up. Even though I was sad, I got through it and kept on going.
How can you show fortitude?
My dog was bit by a pit bull. I was not there. My dog came home with a bite in her neck. I was terrified. I didn't know what to do, but I kept going, and she ended up not dying, but it was very close. I just showed the courage by being there and taking care of her and giving her extra treats in her bowl.
How can you show fortitude?
So, my grandpa was in his house sleeping, and his house was on fire, and then his foot got burned. My mom called the ambulance, called the firefighters, and my grandpa was still alive, but in a few weeks he passed away. And I kept on thinking about him, and also he had a pet turtle named Raph, and he told me when he died, he would give me his pet turtle Raph. The turtle Raph my pet turtle Rev, so we gave him water, we gave him sand, we gave him all the stuff he needed until when I woke up, he was dead. I never forgot my pet turtle and my papa, and I still keep on going. And my grandpa and my pet turtle, they love me, and I love them.
How have you shown fortitude?
When my uncle was at the hospital, he had cancer, and I tried not to cry, but when he went to heaven, he was not in pain and he didn't have cancer. That's how I got through. I knew he was okay. That's how I got through it.
How can you show fortitude?
2 years ago, I lost 2 of my dogs. Kimber and Molly both passed away in sad accidents. They did not happen at the same time, but several months apart. My sister and I were so sad about losing our dogs. They are family to us. We had to practice fortitude as we were so sad and learning to live without our dogs.
How can you show fortitude?
My mom got in this really bad car wreck, and me and my sister were really scared. And she told me to unbuckle to give my sister a hug because we were all really scared. And I was brave because I unbuckled and gave my little sister a hug. Because that's what she needed and because I love her so much.
What can you tell us about fortitude?
So when I was at home, my dad was at work, and so we heard gunshots, and my mom heard it, and my sister heard it. She was scared, and so it didn't stop, and my mom was like, "Come in here," and my sister was scared. Her heart was beeping too hard because she was scared, and I was scared too. Even though I was scared too, I put my arm around her and hugged her, and I told her that it's gonna be okay. We have to go through it.
How can you show fortitude? When Ms.Byrd passed away, it's been very hard, and I know she's done to do good in heaven, singing and dancing, because her favorite thing to do is sing church songs. Her favorite thing was to sing gospel. And Ms.Byrd was my big sister, 4th grade teacher, so I know her pretty much, and I got through it by thinking that she's gonna be good at heaven, and that I know she loves me, and I know she loves my sister.
How can you show fortitude?
Walk my walker and walk.